UCLA is a university with unlimited possibilities for students that desire world-class academics and research, unmatched diversity, incredible cultural and social opportunities, successful alumni and career networking, first-class campus facilities, plus America's top intercollegiate sports teams. Located in Westwood, just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean, UCLA's 1 square mile campus is surrounded by famous cities such as Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, and Santa Monica.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Westwood for another edition of UCLA Bruin Talk. I'm Dave Marcus, joined by Allison Taylor. The fall sports calendar is in full swing. We're glad to be here. We're glad to have you with us. We're going to talk to some guys from one of the best programs on campus in just a few moments.
Before we meet our first guest, let's take a look at the upcoming events.
One of UCLA's most consistently outstanding sports is soccer, both on the women's side and the men's side. The men started the season very early, as they always do, long before the students got to campus, and they just completed a very successful road swing to Maryland and Virginia, playing in front of huge crowds. Pac-12 Network is going to give increased visibility to this program, and we're happy to have a couple of the stars of the team join us. Pat Matchett, defender, and Ryan Hollingshead, forward, are with us. Gentlemen, thanks for coming into Bruin Talk.
Thanks for having us.
Ryan, we talked about that early start. You begin your season in August, and you had the first goal of the year for UCLA, a header with the 43rd minute against New Mexico. Tell us how it felt to get that first tally.
Yeah, it was huge. I think one of our concerns, too, coming into this year was we lost a lot of our strikers from last year, lost a lot of our goals. So we were just hoping to find any goals from any players. So it was good to get that first one in and then kind of open the floodgates and just let the whole team know that, like, we're going to score, we're going to be able to do this. And so, yeah, it was great. I was joking, actually, with a friend the other day that I've scored in the opener in all 4 of my years here. One of them was on the wrong goal. I scored an own goal.
Still hit the net.
But it still hit the net, so we're going to see if we can make a stat out of that. That'd be great.
Pat, you're a defender. You don't like to see those balls hit the net, but you guys had a great road trip we talked about, and freshmen who had to come in because of injury. Juan Cervantes ended up as the Pac-12 Player of the Week.
Yeah.
Big for a freshman to step up.
I mean, huge. Like, coming in, would never have expected him to come into that place. We had Earl, #1 recruit in the nation, finally getting a shot to come play, had a back spasm, and then Juan came in, his first game ever at UCLA, a home game, 10 seconds in and gets scored on because of just pure chaos, not his fault. But, man, he stepped up huge this week, and it was awesome. He did a great job.
You guys won the Pac-12, the inaugural Pac-12 title last year with a 2-0 victory over Cal. Does that make you hungry this year? I know it's really early in the season, but you've got to already be looking forward to postseason a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking forward to postseason. At a school like UCLA, we're always hoping to at least get to that Final Four. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to it. We think that Pac-12 is going to be solid competition again this year, and we went undefeated last year, so we don't want to drop down at all. We want to try to do the same thing. So,
yeah, I mean, each game you just got to go out knowing and representing UCLA. I mean, every sport knows that and live by it. So,
your sport is the world's most popular sport, but it's really been kind of in the shadows here at the collegiate level. Now you've got the Pac-12 network. They're showing a lot of games live. The Bruins are going to be on a lot. Get some people in the stands because of that. Tell us about what the impact of television is going to mean to this UCLA program.
I mean, when you have it televised, you get just way more followers. I mean, you have friends texting you, calling you, going, "Hey, you were on TV the other day. Like, I saw it. Like, it was on my cable network." And you're like, "Oh yeah, like totally. You got to come out." And then the thing is, like, we had our first game. School's not in session, and we filled up the whole lower stands. And I mean, that's good for even when school is in session. So hopefully, it's just getting bigger following.
So both of you have some Bruin connections in your own family. Pat, both of your parents were Bruins. Your father, I believe, was a water polo student athlete here, and Ryan, your brother, was on the soccer team here. Tell us a little bit about how your Bruin familial connections helped you decide to come to UCLA.
I think I knew from a pretty early age, like if I got an option to come here or if they offered any sort of opportunity to come to UCLA, I knew this is the place I wanted to go. And that was just more confirmed when my brother was here because you're obviously involved with him. You get to see the way that he played soccer here, get to see how much he loved the school here. So that just further solidified that I wanted to be here if I could get the chance, and luckily I got that chance. So.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with everything was UCLA, and because both my mom and my dad went to UCLA, and then all my other family, their brothers and sisters, someone happened to go to USC out of that side, so it's been a big rivalry. And I mean, every day playing, training, I knew that if I had the option to go to UCLA, it was a done deal. Like there wasn't many other options for me.
Well, we talked about the Pac-12 championship last year, and of course, Ryan, you were on a team that went to the College Cup semifinals a couple of years ago. Does the experience of having been there but not having won the whole thing, what does that do for you as you look forward to this season?
Yeah, it just gets you fired up because you're so close. Last year in the semifinals, we thought we should have won it. We thought we were just right there. And so you get that taste that you're so close to that national championship. And if anything, that just drives us more of like, we don't want to have that feeling of losing in the semifinals. We want to be holding up the trophy. So yeah, it just drives us a little bit more, I think.
Soccer is one of the sports, obviously, that is taking place in the fall. You've got all kinds of weather conditions you have to play in. You just finished a trip to the East Coast in August, which is like playing inside a sauna. And you may end up playing in an ice storm later this year. How do you mentally prepare for the changing conditions?
You just got to take each game one step at a time. And I mean, playing in 95-degree weather with 100% humidity, or playing in Louisville 2 years ago in the snow, you know, it's a mental game, and you just got to do it. You got to be mentally prepared. That's all I can really say about that.
Ryan, you're in your senior season here at UCLA. We talked about how you scored goals in each of the opening games, maybe not in the right net, but they were there. What do you think you're going to miss the most about being part of the Bruin team? I know it's a special experience being a student athlete here.
Yeah, I mean, it's your family. For 4 years here, it's your family. We do everything together. We wake up with each other, basically. We go to practice from early in the morning. We're with each other at weights, with each other all day, eating meals. So, yeah, it's definitely like leaving your family after the season's over, which is going to be tough. But obviously, these guys are my best friends, so we'll be in touch, and we'll always be close. But, yeah, it's tough because I won't see this smiling face every day, you know?
Oh.
Well, you know, with the amount of transfers in international soccer now, you guys really are together as much as any side anywhere in the world. And you play 3-4 years together. Pat, tell us about the chemistry that gets built up on the pitch as you're playing.
I mean, it's very simple just to see it. Like, you play together for 4 years, and you just know, like, I know where Ryan, he's going to come inside, get the ball, and he wants to dribble. So you just learn people's tendencies, and you get to watch them, and I mean, you learn from them too. They teach you how to play, and it's just awesome. I mean, it's awesome.
Pat, I'm going to let the secret out of the bag and let everyone know that your ankles are taped under your socks right now. Tell us a little bit about how you manage your time as a student athlete. I mean, the fact that you have to have your ankles taped before you tape this show because you have practice so quickly after, how do you manage your time?
You really just have to get into a routine, and it's wake up 2 hours before practice, you eat, you do everything you got to do, get treatment, get in there on time, get out to the field. I mean, I don't think anyone's been more than an hour like early. That's like considered late. If you're an hour early to practice, then you're late because everyone's in there. You almost hang out before practice every day, and got to get your ankles taped. If you have injuries, you got to take care of it, and it's just part of a routine. You just got to do it.
Ryan, as you look forward to a long season, what are some of the games on the calendar that kind of stand out to you? What are you most looking forward to?
I think right now we're really looking forward to that Cal Poly UC Santa Barbara weekend. Those are both schools that get crazy crowds. Santa Barbara upwards of 16,000. I think last time we were there. Cal Poly similar to like 6,000, somewhere around there. But those are the weekends that just there's a ton of fans. You really get in that amazing environment that we just love to play in. We love the pressure. So I would say those are the ones we're looking forward to. And then obviously Cal as our rival in the Pac-12, we're always excited to try to beat them. So.
Pat, you like playing the home games or the road games? What's the best part of the road trips that you take?
The road trips?
Yeah.
It's all about the roomie situation, you know? Hanging out with your roommate in the room, little pool workout maybe with the team. Nothing, I mean, that's the best.
A lot of times people say sometimes it's easier to focus when you're on the road. You're not at home with all the distractions that you have at home.
Yeah, I mean, because you're with each other all the time. You eat every meal together. All you think about is soccer. You're watching film constantly. You're training. And everything just is soccer, soccer, soccer. So mentally, you're all checked in. There's nothing that can distract you.
We alluded to earlier about how you guys lost a lot of the strikers, Kellen Rowe, Chandler Hoffman, even your goalkeeper Brian Rowe got drafted and graduated and moved on. How do you progress in a season like this season where you know that you have to replace so many of your top players?
Well, at UCLA, you've always got the next round of players coming in. They always are bringing in top 5 recruiting classes every year. And so you know that some of those guys are going to have to step up. Sometimes we kind of push them to step up. Sometimes they are so excited to step up. But yeah, we knew that. We knew going into this year that we are going to have a lot of holes to fill. But we also know that there's guys itching on the bench, like ready to play, guys that are just excited to prove that they can be starters here that really haven't gotten the chance. But guys that came in like the #1 recruit or the #3 recruit their year, and just because of how good the team is, still not playing. So,
Ryan, who are some of your influences in international soccer? And you're not allowed to say Messi because he's off the charts, but who are some of the players that you would like to emulate your game after?
Yeah, I'd have to say Kaká. He's the guy that I go to. I respect his faith. I respect the way he plays. I respect his style of play. I think he's kind of like me and an outside mid. I don't want to say I'm anything like Kaká, but that he just likes running at people, and so I would definitely say he's my go-to for getting some info.
Pat, defenders walk the tightrope. You normally get noticed when there's a mistake, but as you look at some of the great players internationally, who are some of your influences?
I mean, you look at like Puyo and all center backs, outside backs, Roberto Carlos for all the big teams, and it's just, I mean, you watch them and they don't make mistakes, and then when they do, they usually recover from it. And when you see a mistake on the international level, it's almost like gratifying. It's like, oh, okay, like I've made mistakes, and these guys are making it a mistake in front of millions and millions of people on national television at games, and it's kind of relieving, but at the same time, it's like you got a lot to work on.
There's so many decisions you have to make, because when you're on the back line, it's not just stopping it, it's where you outlet and how you see the field and how you read the field. Tell us about the decision-making process when you get the ball back there.
When I was, like, my freshman year when I started, it was more just don't mess up, like do not mess up. Whatever you do, just two-touch, and today I still like live by that, you know, like I play two-touch, I like to get in the attack, and I know our defense, it's very interconnected. We're all very tight, and Joe, Sophia, and I have played together for 9 years now from club soccer, so it feels pretty normal, and we know each other's tendencies, and we have each other's back. Like if one person's stepping, the other one's getting back, and it works out pretty well. It works out.
And Joe Sophia had a golden goal game winner on the recent road trip.
Yeah, he did.
Well, we hope you'll follow Bruin soccer this year. It should be a great season. Plenty of home matches left, and they will all be at Drake Stadium. If you can't make it out to the games, there will be a live internet broadcast on UCLABruins.com. Gentlemen, best of luck for the upcoming season. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
And we're going to come back for more UCLA Bruin Talk right after this brief public service announcement.
A trophy can be made just about anywhere. But there's one place where champions are made. UCLA, champions made here.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to Bruin Talk. It is now time to honor our Student Athlete of the Week. This week we honor Johnathan Franklin as our Athlete of the Week. In the UCLA football season opener, he rushed for 214 yards and 3 touchdowns en route to a 49-24 win over Rice. Franklin was just shy of a career-high 216 yards rushed. He scored 2 touchdowns on runs of 74 and 78 yards, becoming the first player in UCLA history to have 2 rushes of at least 72 yards in a game. Because of his stellar performance against Rice, he was named Pac-12 Player of the Week. Congratulations, Johnathan, and good luck with the rest of the season. If you would like additional information about UCLA athletics, please visit our website at uclabruins.com.
Even though we've been talking about fall sports, the UCLA baseball team is hard at work. It's year-round for those guys, and we're very happy to have the #1 pitcher on the squad, Adam Plutko, joining us. Adam, you had an interesting summer. You were on the USA Collegiate Baseball team. You got to play in the Netherlands, in Cuba. Tell us about the experience of traveling overseas as a USA team member.
You know, it's just so different than playing in the States. Out there, they treat everything more like a soccer match because it's, you know, more of what they know. And in Cuba, there was just horns constantly, and you'd go home and your ears would just be, you know, like you couldn't hear anything for 6 hours afterwards. And then in the Netherlands, they had all like these dances, and they were singing songs, and you know, all these performances that they were doing in the stands. So it was just a great experience, and it's one that I'll always remember.
We know you can shake off distractions. You're a big game pitcher, ERA under 1 in postseason play. What is it about the big moments that brings out the best in you?
Oh, I like the limelight. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy, you know, the bright stage, the cameras, and all that kind of stuff. I always have, and it's been something that, you know, I've always been able to do. Growing up, you know, whenever the bigger the game was, the more excited I got.
This past season, UCLA went to the College World Series for the 2nd time in the last 3 seasons. It's got to be exciting. How does that fuel the team for this upcoming season? What makes you hungry to get back there?
I mean, we didn't win it all. I mean, that was clear. We didn't do as good as we wanted, and we need to do better. And the team that we had last year did an excellent job, and you know, all the guys that are leaving, you know, we're going to be sad that they're gone, but at the same time, we just have to rebuild and get ready for this season and take our team back there and you know, get that ring this time.
We talked about the off-season workouts you guys have to put in. Your season doesn't start until February, but I know that you're out at Jackie Robinson Stadium almost every day working on stuff. For you, is it working on arm strength, location? What's your off-season workout like?
It's actually about the only time that you can, you know, put on weight or anything like that before it's just almost impossible. So it's a lot about just working out and not really throwing the ball, kind of taking a break real quick, which, I mean, is absolutely necessary as a pitcher, but not only for position players too, you know. Your arm just is killing you by the end of the year, so it's just nice to put the ball down for a little while and forget about baseball before you have to do it, you know, the next day. So it's that's kind of my off season right now, is laying low and getting a good workout in.
I know you were traveling with the collegiate team a lot of the summer, but one of your former teammates in the rotation, Trevor Bauer, called up, pitched a couple games in the bigs. What's it feel like seeing one of your rotation mates out there pitching against the major league hitters?
It's weird, man. I mean, it's just like, you know, he was here with me just goofing around, and all of a sudden he's, you know, just making his major league debut in Brave Stadium, and it's like, that shouldn't be right. You know, I can text him, say, hey, what's up? And you know, he's pitching at Brave Stadium. It's awesome. I'm so happy for him.
Okay, so I have to ask, baseball is notorious for having weird, quirky, good luck, superstitious things. Do you have anything that you do on the mound or in the dugout or before a game to make sure that you get that win?
Oh no, it's really bad luck to be superstitious. I stay away from that all the time. But in all seriousness, you know, everyone has their, you know, superstition, but the way I look at it, it's a ritual almost, you know. We play all the time, and something's got to be the same no matter what we do and no matter where we are. So it's more of a routine and getting ourselves, you know, focused and stuff like that. But I don't know, I listen to the same music before a start or something. It's not that special.
Adam, I got to ask you, you're one of the best pitchers in America. Everybody wants to talk about your secrets to success. I want to talk about the hat you wore all last season. That thing had an incredible pattern on it by the end of the year.
Yes.
Where's it going? Straight to the museum or straight to the dump?
It's going definitely to a museum. It's a gem, so I gave it to my parents, and they're going to put it in a glass case, you know. It just fit right. And when you get a good fitting hat, and no matter how it smells, you got to wear it. And yeah, so it's going in a glass case for my memoirs forever.
A lot of your games are going to be televised this year that weren't before. The Pac-12 network's coming in. They're doing all these different kinds of sports. We were talking to the soccer guys a moment ago. UCLA got to the College World Series yet. Last year, you get incredible visibility there. But now, your regular season games are going to be seen. How different you think that's going to be for the program and your sport?
I mean, it's awesome. Just growing college baseball, and you know, we want to get it to be a main revenue sport. I mean, why not? It's one of the 3 biggest sports in America right now, and it's the most American sport there is. And so, you know, it's going to be great that the Pac-12 network is doing this, and you know, hopefully we can get some more fans out at Jackie Robinson. It's a great little place. So.
Coach Savage has an incredible record with pitchers in particular. I know the pitching staff are his little babies. What kind of lessons have you learned from Coach Savage, and what are you going to try to take from him as you try to move on to the next level?
I mean, so many. He's just so detailed down to the smallest thing. I mean, he carries this mechanical pencil that I swear that he used, that he coached with his first game up in Reno. I swear it's the same one that he just keeps, you know, filling lead in. But his detail and his work ethic is just something that, you know, guys look at, and we may not register it right away, but it definitely comes through with the pitchers, especially.
Your last 7 starts last year, 7-0. I mean, you really finished the season on a roll. How important is it for you to get off on that good footing this year?
I mean, definitely, you got to get off on a good start. But yeah, that last 7 was a lot of fun. You know, I was just going out there, and you know, I wasn't worried about, you know, the offense behind me. I knew they were on a roll too, and those last, you know, 7 weeks to our season, there's no one hotter in the country than the UCLA Bruins.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about how the offense gives you confidence to not worry about making that one mistake. I mean, there's a team in town that's not scoring a lot of runs right now, and their pitchers are walking on a tightrope every time out. Tell us about the confidence that you have when you know your guys are going to score some runs.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes it easier. You're not pitching, you know, looking over your shoulder, I guess would be the easiest way to say it. It's just, you know, you're more relaxed out there, and you can pitch your game instead of, you know, worrying about, oh, is this one mistake going to, you know, ultimately cost us the whole entire game.
Adam, out of high school, you were drafted in the 6th round by the Houston Astros, and that's a big decision for an 18-year-old to make. Do you take the money and go play professional baseball, something you've dreamed about forever, or do you go play college and try to get your education before you move on to the next level? What influenced your decision to come to UCLA and pitch for Coach Savage?
I mean, it was pretty plain and simple. Have you heard of the Tri-City Valley Cats in the New York Penn League? No one's really heard of them. Yeah, exactly. No one's really heard of them. And if you've heard of West LA, Hollywood, Beverly Hills, I mean, yeah, it's in every movie that you watch on camera. So I mean, it was a tough decision. Don't get me wrong. And the Astros were a great organization, and I learned a lot from that whole process. But I mean, I'm not going to pass up an opportunity to live right next to Bel Air and, you know, have fun.
Well, and when you see a Trevor Bauer or Casey Janssen in the 2005 team, you know, in the big leagues a couple years after college, that didn't used to happen. That makes the decision a lot easier, doesn't it? Knowing that your path to the big leagues is still pretty clear.
Yeah, it does. And the way that Garrett and Trevor and, you know, even Hector Ambrose and David Huff, and they just got called up, and you know, the way that they paved the road for the rest of the UCLA baseball team, it makes it real nice, you know. It's kind of not blazed path, I guess you can say. Mm-hmm. Like there's help wherever you go.
You alluded to earlier about having to rebuild the team practically every year. In college sports, you lose players every year to the draft and graduating and just moving on with their lives. As one of the team captains, how do you look to your team and tell them, hey, guys, it's going to be okay, even though we lost all of those guys?
I mean, every major program in the country has to rebuild every year. You look at the Floridas, the South Carolinas, they have first-round draft picks, top 10 round draft picks every year. And we're no exception. So it's just something that you get used to really quick is, you know, meeting new guys, and before you know it, they're your best friends, and before you know it, you're just 35 brothers out there throwing a little white rock around. So it's fun.
Adam, I know you're looking forward to the upcoming season, but as you look back on your 2 years on the bump for UCLA, what are some of the most memorable occurrences that you've had?
By far, throwing out the first pitch of the College World Series, being the first team to play against Stony Brook, and opening it up and having 27,000 fans, you know, all wearing red and a couple thousand wearing blue, you know, but that was okay. That was by far my most memorable moment here at UCLA. It was surreal.
Now, you've thrown millions of pitches in your life. Did you worry about that first pitch? Am I going to get it to the plate? Am I going to throw it to the backstop?
Yeah, I saw a bull in the background, and I swear I was going to hit it for you Bull Durham fans, but no, it was just doing the same thing that I always knew how to do. And like you said before, the superstitions or routine or whatever you want to call it helped me calm down and focus for the next pitch.
So we were looking back, and now I want to look forward. What are you looking forward to most this season? It's going to be an incredible year. You've got great recruits coming in. What are you looking forward to?
I mean, you know, a lot of people think that the junior year brings a lot of pressure for the draft and everything like that, but the way I'm looking at it is it's my last year to play with, you know, my best friends and the guys I live with, not only, you know, play with. So I'm just really looking forward to, you know, playing and hanging out with my teammates. And it's not the same after college baseball. It's not the same in minor league baseball, major league baseball, and anyone will tell you that. But I'm just really looking forward to hanging out with my friends.
A big game pitcher. The Bruins are glad he's going to be on the hill coming up in February. Adam, thanks for joining us on Bruin Talk.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on UCLA Bruin Talk. That's going to do it for this edition. Allison and I will see you next time for another great show. Until then, I'm Dave Marcus saying so long from Westwood.